Good evening, everyone out there in Cyberland. Just wanted to kind of throw a little insight into, or at least my personal insights into the whole recording, songwriting, producing thing that's going on right now. One of the things I just want to address is simply to say from the get go, there is so much material in the way of information about producing to software to hardware that in this day and age, I mean, even as far as distribution goes, it doesn't take a lot for a person to be successful doing music. And one of the things that I've seen, and I just had to say something about it because for me, it really seems to kind of get people off track. Um, and that's basically about you know going to classes for music programs for recording, understanding recording software. I'm not saying that you can't. I mean, you can't do that if you don't have a really good knowledge of it. But to me, it's more about producing, writing, and getting your ideas from your head to tape in as short, as little time as possible. And I mean, my opinion, and that's for me. I mean, I did my first program with GarageBand, which came with my Apple computer. Short of having it mastered, it was a pretty decent recording software, and the album came out pretty good. Right now, I have an iPad with basically the most expensive app on there, maybe 19 bucks, but most of the others are like maybe $9 for a pretty decent app. And I'm using those to produce my new album with. I really think it's went overboard. I mean, Ableton has it's like a school. I mean, a course dedicated to learning Ableton, and I really don't think that that level of of exploration is necessary for the average person, producer, whether it's professional or amateur, to get into Ableton. I mean, I really think light editions of a lot of the programs are all that's really necessary because, again, ultimately it comes down to, can you write music? Can you produce music or not? It's not about the gear. I really would think there's less emphasis on the post production side, like mastering software. If anything, that's really where a lot of attention should go, is to mastering, not to um, really getting that deep into these programs. It's about writing the music, getting it to tape, and it really shouldn't be that in depth. If you're doing that, it's like you've become something else. Now, if you're a producer and that's all you do, I could even see maybe justifying that, maybe a course, or just to get the basic understanding. But just clinics and I mean related to Ableton, I can't really see the justification in it. I have Ableton myself. I plan on using it live. Um, and a lot of that information you can find on blog sites, forums, YouTube on using Ableton. I really don't see the need for a course for Ableton. So basically, my thinking on music right now is it needs to get back to what it's about, and that's writing music, performing music, not so much about what you're using. I'm using Pro Tools or I'm using this or that. It becomes about that, and then the music suffers every time. It's rarely a case where it doesn't happen. But use if a person that has a very good idea and they just want to get the information down and get it out to the public, those are the better recordings. So I would suggest, look into music software if you're trying to write and record, but don't get too involved. Get something that there's a small learning curve you can actually get started recording and producing. Well, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. It's Elliot signing off to all you musicians and bass players out there, and I'll talk to you next time. Later.